Welcome to Amberg, folks. Today is the day I am talking about the snow plow. We have, if the weathermen are correct, we have 8 to 12 inches coming tonight. So this will be the first time I use this snow plow. Now I mentioned this plow before. I got this plow from Carl at work. I was telling him one day, I was thinking about getting a snow plow for the tractor and whatever, and he was like, well, I got one sitting over there in the yard, why don't you come look at it? So I went over there and looked at it, and while I was there, we started looking at other stuff, and I ended up with the snow plow, the cylinder for that box wedge, and the I-beam for the box wedge. And I gave him like $300 for the whole shit, everything. Which I thought was a pretty good deal, because the cylinder alone for that box wedge would probably be $300 if I had to buy it new. The plow was a little beat up. It's not, it's not in perfect condition or nothing. That itself is fine the way it is. The hinge area here, the way this was all attached to hinge up and down, that was kind of bent up and everything. So I cut that off. I cut it right here, right through this angle iron, the A-frame, what they call the A-frame, I believe. I cut that off, took it downstairs. I made new hinges here, all new brackets, welded them on to this little plate here. And then I went out and purchased this plate here. This plate is a quick attach plate for the quick attach, skid steer quick attach. I believe this one was a 5/16. They go up in price as you get thicker. If you go to like a 1/2 inch, you want something really heavy, a 1/2 inch, it's going to cost you a lot more. But this was, I believe, the 5/16. It was, I want to say it was like around $150. Okay? So I thought that wasn't too bad to get this all set up for plowing. So now all I do is I drive into it and pick it up and hook up my hydraulic hoses, and I'm off. The only issue I have with it is it's a little bit long, okay? So when I back in the garage here, normally if I back in, I have all kinds of room behind the tractor over here to walk around and do stuff yet. Well, when I had this plow on, I don't have that room. I am tied up against my racks in the back of the garage there. And that's why I needed to take the backhoe off. So I have the backhoe off, I have that counterweight with the rock on there. That's what I had to do to get this set up in the garage. So I can have it in here, I can have it all warmed up, and then just open the door and go start plowing tomorrow when we got 10 inches of snow sitting out there. So all in all, it works. Everything works fine. The cylinders work. Everything works, but I have not plowed any snow with it yet. So tomorrow is going to be the test to see, if it plows or if it doesn't plow. And I don't think there's going to be an issue. I have the blade set a 1/2 inch high so it doesn't gouge up my lawn, but the pads will still leave a mark, because the ground isn't really frozen hard yet. It's actually supposed to be raining out there today. We haven't had any rain yet, but it's supposed to be raining. So the ground isn't really hard yet. So these pads are gonna kind of gouge into the grass a little bit. But it is what it is, you have to use it the way it is. So tomorrow will be the test. We're gonna get this going. I've got the tractor in here warming up. We're gonna test, check all the fluids and everything, make sure we're all good to go. And we're gonna plow some snow tomorrow with this thing. The last thing I wanted to do on this plow before using it was I wanted to put this on here. This is called a grass saver. Now this is probably the wrong size pipe. I should have had like a 1-inch pipe here so it fits better on this piece of metal. It can't go up any further than it is. But this is all I had laying around here. So I figured I'd use this. This was left over from when I put the first well in 3 years ago. So I figured I'd try it. I'm afraid when I come down, if I slam down too hard, this is just gonna break. But it is what it is. I didn't want to spend any more money unless I tried it first. So we're gonna see if this works. This is supposed to help with this just rolling over the grass instead of digging in. So we're gonna test that out tomorrow also. and we'll see if it works. I put 3 bolts in it just to hold it in place so it doesn't just pop off of there. So we'll see how it works tomorrow. I believe I saw this on YouTube. I doubt that I can go find it again. But it seemed like a good idea, so we're gonna try it once. They do sell them, you know, that you can bolt. They bolt right on here on the bolts, you know. But they're quite expensive, so I'm not gonna buy them. I'm just gonna try this and see if it works. Otherwise, we'll just make do with what we got. One last thing I want to show you are these game cameras that I brought in yesterday. I went and got them. I don't know what's happening there, but check this out. So I put out 4 new cameras this year, and all 4 of them have been damaged. You can see right here. I don't know if that's Woody Woodpecker doing that, or what did it. Everyone is busted. That is the I believe that is the sensor, the motion sensor. They're all busted, every one of them. They still work, they still take pictures, but everyone is. These were 4 brand new cameras this year, and every one of them got busted. Now I don't know if it's just the location I'm putting them in or whatever, but it's kind of disappointing. I would hate to spend hundreds of dollars on a camera and have this happen the first year. These are like $30 cameras. They're a wild game. I don't know how to stop that. You know, put a piece of plexiglass over it, then the quality of your pictures aren't going to turn out very well, I don't think. Well, we'll have to figure something out for next year. Now, previously, I've had cameras where I got ants in them, and the ants kind of do something to the electronics and screw up the camera. But I've never had this happen before. This is the first time for this, and it's odd that all 4 of them that I had, basically they were around the field out there where I'm getting all my deer pictures from. All 4 of them, you know. So it's kind of odd. So if any of you have had this situation where your lenses are getting poked in like that, let me know. Let me know if you've had this problem and if you know what's causing it. I'm thinking it's Woody, but we're gonna move on. Well guys, as always, the weatherman got it wrong. I wish I could do a job like that where you get it wrong every time. We probably got 4 inches of snow, real wet, heavy snow. So we're gonna still use the tractor. We're gonna plow it, make sure everything works. It's probably a good thing that we didn't get 10 inches and then find out that none of this works. So we're gonna plow it with the tractor. And I just shoveled off the deck. It is pretty heavy stuff. It's good snowman making material. So we're gonna get going here.
Well, how'd it do? I think it did pretty good. I mean, obviously it's a sloppy mess out here because we had all that rain and then the snow on top of it. So it's just a big mud puddle right now. To start out with, the plastic piece I put on the bottom there, it was working until it started breaking. And then once it broke, then the corners started digging in and stuff. But it did work to some point. And when I first started plowing, I could tell it was not digging into the lawn. And then once that corner over there broke, you know, then it started digging in and stuff. But I think there's a way I can make that work. Maybe not plastic. Maybe cut a metal pipe and screw it on there, you know, so that it doesn't break so easy. And I think that might work, you know. And you know, this one was a little short. Come out all the way to the ends, you know. Get all the way out here and get these corners covered. I think that might work, you know, to save the grass, not digging up the lawn so bad. It really did work. So other than that, the plow worked fine. No issues with the plow. Everything worked just the way it was supposed to. The only tip I guess I can offer to anybody that's starting out, always push your snow as far as you can push it, because the next snowstorm, that's all going to be hard as a rock. That's all going to freeze. It's going to be hard as a rock. So you want to push that as far as you can push it, and then the next snowstorm you just push up to it and push up to it, and eventually, depending on how much snow you get, you're going to be way out here where you don't want the snow, you know, at some point in the year, depending on how much snow you get, how many of these snowstorms you get. So that's my biggest tip, you know. I mean, you can see over there, I pushed it all the way into the woods as far as I could get it. I cleaned up around the well area there and just pushed it as far in as I can. It doesn't hurt the trees any, you know. Obviously, if you're living in a town or a city, you're limited to where you can push the stuff to, but you know, that's the only tip I can give you for snow plowing is you push it as far as you can push it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on the four-wheeler. I'm going to clean up some of these little areas. I didn't want to get in too tight with the big tractor. One little mistake and you do a lot of damage with the tractor. So I'll get the four-wheeler out and clean up some of the corners and whatever. And yeah, I think it worked pretty good. I'm happy. Well guys, it's another day and another inch of snow up here in the North Woods. So I'm just going to use the four-wheeler today and scrape this, do a little cleanup. You know, if you like this video, you know, give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. And we're gonna see you on the next one.